This is Sergio with Fighter Path MMA. I am back with the 141st edition of the Quarantinecast. I'm really excited for this one. I'm having someone who's competing this weekend. It's always an honor to speak to someone right before a fight. In addition, he's also been around MMA for a very, very long time. So it's an honor to have him on. So without further ado, here's Brandon Cash. Hey man, how's it going?
What's going on? How's it going, Sergio? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for taking the time. I know it's a big week, so I appreciate you taking the time to speak.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. You know what?
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as a heavyweight, a lot of people like the fight week to me, it, it's I wish I was cutting weight, because I'm usually at the gym 2 3 times a day, So the last week and a half, we cut it down to 1 time a week at night, the time I'm gonna fight. And so the other time, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm a heavyweight, so I'm not cutting much weight. I'm eating, I'm not pigging out, but I'm just antsy all day, So like the little guys, they're, they're still doing cardio, they're training, they're cutting that weight. I don't got to cut weight. So the last week for me, it's like I said, I was telling you before we started, I was about to take a nap. I catch up on my nap, watch some Netflix or something. I kind of, I was visiting my buddy at the Flex Factory at the supplement store today. We're just in there watching YouTube, just kind of shooting the shit, But it's it's good being a heavyweight, I don't got to cut weight. So the last week for me is it's really peaceful. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, You got to finalize your sponsors and your shirts, your shorts, all stuff like that. But besides that, I really enjoyed the last week. It's not stressful. I get to, like I said, I get to nap and I don't get to be at the gym 3 times a day. So I'm happy to do any kind of interviews or whatever I need to do.
Yeah, it's funny because I've only talked to a handful of heavyweights. I've had 141 of these, and I think only a handful were heavyweights, and none were during fight week. So it's kind of cool to get that perspective. Usually, when I'm talking to like welterweights, they're like, "Man, I'm struggling." Like,
Oh yeah,
uh,
I won't even tell them what I ate for dinner last night. You know? But no, yeah, I don't I don't cut much weight. Even when I did, was a little higher on the scales. I just uh, you know I cut out soda and a lot of dairy and stuff like that. The last month anyway, so I usually don't have too much of a problem. I'm more anxious. Like I want to fight. I'm already in shape. I don't got to cut weight. Everything, the hard work is done. So I'm more anxious. Like I don't know what to do with myself, and it's hard whenever I'm training 3 months. 5 6 days a week, 2 3 times a day, where I'm waking up and I'm going to the gym, come home, sleep, eat, do it again, and it's like a starving dog. You feed, I'm getting fed all this gym stuff, and then now, like a week for the fight, I just don't get fed very much. So I'm anxious. I want to fight. I want to get in there. You know.
there's been there's been a long layoff too going into this one, not just because of the pandemic, but what was your training like with the pandemic? Because I know up here it was very limited for a lot of people. There's restrictions. You can only train certain times with specific training partners. So what was it like for you?
You know what? I'm obviously in California, which is a very liberal state. I love California. I was born here, but regardless of your politics, a lot of it was shut down. And I mean Newsom, our owner at the gym, Angel, and Halo Jiu Jitsu. Let's just say he's not a Newsom fan. He's a small business owner, and a lot of the people are. And he just saw, his own business, Newsom's business being opened, but his business can't, and his business is promoting health, and getting people, out of their comfort zone and making them feel good. Jitsu just, the gym in general does so much for people as far as their good inner self, making them feel better, that when the gyms closed down, I felt sorry because some of those people got sick. But I was lucky enough to have a couple good gym owners that I go to, as far as Doc's gym, and then GB3 opened up, but Angel's been open the whole time. So I've been extremely lucky to be in California, considering the lockdown that we're on, and be have a open gym to train. So I've been extremely lucky. So yeah, we've been hitting it. There was a, I mean, as soon as I got back into it, we've been hitting it hard. So we kind of had to taper down a couple times when a couple fights got pulled out. But you just kind of taper down for a week, and then you get right back to it. So this is, you know, arguably the best shape that I've been in as my career. Because I've had a good 5 6 months to train and just eating healthy. And like I said, I'm getting older, so I cut out a lot of the stuff in my diet that wasn't working. I hardly drink beer anymore. I used to like a beer at night. Now, special occasion I'll have a beer. So just clean the stuff up like that as well. Being a little older, just getting a little more healthier and wiser, really. And it's, I mean, if you guys go on the Facebook, whatever, and seeing pictures, I did a little cool transformation too, because when the corona first hit, I was sitting at my home like everybody else, all depressed, eating, depression food, and I was just like, screw this, I had to get back in the gym. And then, I made a few calls, and every gym I went to was arms wide open. So I'm grateful and lucky and blessed to have good gyms like that be open, especially in California.
It's been a while since we've seen you. I mean, even before the pandemic. I mean, it's been 3 years. What was the reason for the long layoff? Was it you had retired, now you're coming out? What was the reason for such a long layoff?
It was a personal and kind of business. I just doesn't. The last couple of fights I had, it just wasn't. Either the management wasn't right, or just the gym was doesn't working right. This is a lot of things. And I was just kind of over it. It was too much. I just didn't enjoy it no more when I was young. I used to love to go to the gym. I used to love to fight. And the last couple of fights, it was like not I was forced to, but I was just, you know, I was forced in it. I just didn't let it come naturally. And I think, I lost a couple of those just because I was just forced in the fight. I wasn't taking my time with the training camp. I saw a good opportunity, a good fight, and I took it without, really uh, discussing it with the inner circle of the people that I trust, to get good opinions, you know, and, I kind of paid the price, so, and I was just over it, there's a whole politics behind the scene that people don't understand. You either got to be, six pack, nice, pretty boy on the poster, or sell a lot of tickets, or, you know, um, very usually now do companies like a guy that is going to come there and bang, and doesn't have to talk crap or have some kind of persona, so, um, and a lot of that, all the factors came into play, and my heart just wasn't in it. I thought I was done, but um, God brought me back this way. I needed it. I missed it. I just wasn't the same person when I wasn't training at the gym. Even if I didn't fight again, I need to be back in the gym. That's where that's my church. That's where that's where I get my steam out, and where I feel happy. And I'm not only happy fighting. I'm happy there with the gym with all my training partners. Being there for them as well. As myself, and I miss that. So I mean, there's multiple things that brought me back. Plus, plus the money. I need to get that money. And I'm really hungry for it now. When I was young, I kind of did it because I was expected to do it. I thought, that was expected of me when I was young. But now, it's definitely part of my destiny, part of my history. So I'm gonna go in there and really get this money this time, and then you're really gonna see why I'm Brandon Cash Money. Not because of the last name, but I'm gonna get that money.
I love it. I mean, it's a great opportunity here. You've got a big tournament ahead of you. What's your thoughts on your opponent, Jordan Powell?
I'm just happy Mr. Powell stepped up. We had a few that didn't step up to the challenge, so um, I'm just happy. He's from California, so that's cool. Another little California boy on the card. But besides that, that's where um, the niceness stops. He's in the way of me moving on to the next fight in the round, and you can put anybody in there right now at this point, man. I've been training hard for 4 months, and I'm not getting anybody out there put in front of me. It's that simple. When I'm on my game, people know I'm very hard to deal with. There's not many people that have the answer, and I'm just glad to get in there and show some skills. It's been a long time. The whole pandemic, the build up. I'm just glad to get in there, and I just want to give all the fans that tune in and watch and follow me, another little highlight reel they can like and share, and Be like, ask my buddy, I know him. I like that. So, I want to go out there and put one in the books and make it memorable for everybody. Really, that's what I want.
I mean, that's your style too. I think you've only ever been to decision once. Is that sort of the game plan going into this fight? Is getting in and getting out?
Yeah. I mean, no, not really. I mean, I'll take the stoppage wherever I get it. I don't have like a certain time or round. It's not going past the first round, but I'm in shape to go 3 rounds. I'm in shape to go five. I was training for a 5 rounder fight before this, so 2 months ago I was ready to go 5 rounds. So I mean, I can definitely go three. With 3 rounds, I can pretty much sprint the whole time. And as far as me sprint, I mean, I could deliver power hard punches the whole time for 3 rounds. 5 rounds, that gets a little tough. I can do three. So yeah, 3 rounds. I mean, I'm in good shape for it. So 3 rounds is going to be a high pace that I'm going to push, and I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up with a real heavyweight. Firing at him with the bombs that I drop. It's not going to go. 3 rounds.
It's been a while since you competed in the U.S. That's got to feel good too to just kind of fight American soil.
Yeah, I mean, not having that big long flight, and then just the stress of getting there and acclimated. Arizona's not that far away. So it'll be a nice little drive over there, and then we'll be good. It kind of sucks the no fans thing, but everybody can see it on pay-per-view, so I'm happy with that. And like I said, this is just this one fight back in the career. I still got a lot in my tank left. I mean, I've never been knocked out, and I don't plan on letting Mr. Powell knock me out. So we're gonna keep going.
Aside from the money, there is the opportunity to compete for ONE FC if all goes well here. Is that something that like a dream that you've envisioned for a little while to compete for one of those big organizations again?
Yeah, and especially to win a belt. Like I said, I've been with other organizations and promised of, okay, you win this fight, and we'll give you a shot at the belt, the tournament. And I've been in other fights like that. Organizations, I won't really drop their name because they're not mentioning it, but they're up there. So I'm just glad that an organization like One Championship, they're going to honor their word. Everything I heard about them, they're really respectful and they handle business like businessmen, not like little fanboys that jump, from one guy's body part to the next. I don't want to cuss, but like I said, One Championship, they're up there. They're up there with the UFC, and even more because they do the Muay Thai. So they appeal to a whole different crowd, not just MMA crowd. They appeal to the Muay Thai crowd, the boxing crowd, and worldwide fans. Because it's different over there the way their fans are. I think their fans are a lot more educated, like One Championship than the average UFC fan who thinks you go to the gym and train UFC. I get offered all the time, do you train UFC? I'm like, no, I train Muay Thai, I train boxing, train jiu-jitsu. So yeah, I mean, it's also will be a dream come true if I get that title and then work more up to the belt. But first things first, we got to take care of Jordan Powell. But it is in the back of my mind, and it's always there. I just want to take care of one at a time. But I'm just grateful for opportunity and feel blessed. And I mean, obviously, I do belong on the biggest stage now that I'm on top of my game and got a good team behind me, and all that stuff comes into factor. So it's just a matter of time, and then the best is yet to come, really. So I hope you guys all stay tuned and watch the fireworks, really.
I want to talk a little bit about that because I mean it's been a journey. It's been 12, 13 years now. Having competitors like ONE FC and Bellator, PFL, it's something that wasn't around when you first started. There was really only the UFC. So what's been the biggest change overall in MMA since you first started?
You know what? The biggest change is probably the social media. People can have a really good social media following and not really perform, how they're getting paid. They can have a really good social media following and be really popular. People know their name, but they're on all these cards, but they're not winning, or they're doing this. And then a lot of the real good fighters that just like to fight like me, I like doing interviews, but I'm not sitting there 5 hours a day on my phone marketing, all this stuff. That's just not me. I got other stuff to do as well. But there those kind of people. They're more like a Facebook fighter. They like to do a lot of talking, and a lot of times that gets them the publicity, the clout they need. I don't need none of that. I grew up whenever started doing this when people asked if I was oh yeah, you're a fighter, and they don't understand that. you know so what else do you do? Like, no, I fight. There's not much else we do. They didn't understand that that was a full-time profession. And now it's a little better, but now you got amateur guys that have belts that walk around that are they think they think there's the bee's knees, but yet you're amateur. You gotta it's great that it's more publicized now and people take it more seriously, but along that comes with the perpetrators, the fakies, if you say, and a lot of those give us a bad name too. And I'm old school, I'm real old school, so I'm one of the last old dinosaurs in the game. I mean, we're raised a little different. When I first started, there was professional. Amateur was actually outlawed. I couldn't have an amateur fight. We had to go underground, do smokers, and hide the amateur fights because if we tried to publicly promote that, the commission would come and shut it down because there wasn't amateur level then. You had to be professional or nothing. So it's changed a lot, and I'm grateful for that. It's just sometimes we should go back to old school a little bit.
Yeah. I spoke to Houston Alexander on that same thing. He said the exact same thing. He's like, there's no real fighters anymore. Like that's the biggest change too. It's like the game's developed. Now we have martial artists, but there's not many of us old school fighters. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, yeah. And that guy's he's been around some wars too. So yeah, it's just a new breed of fighter. And that's all good too. I mean, the sport's going to change. Every sport's going to change. Football's going to change. You had Joe Montana was the greatest. Now you got Tom Brady. They're two quarterbacks but different. This year's heavyweight champ is going to be a lot different than the heavyweight champ in 20 years, as far as the others. So it's always going to keep developing and keep getting better. It's just now there's a lot of more social media. And there's a lot more attention on it. So there's a lot more to deal with in that sort.
When I want to ask one last question, it's more of a personal one. I mean, you look back, you started in wrestling with someone who has a kid of your own. Is that something that you want to push them towards, or are you like, stay away from this? Like,
I would
you don't want to go down this road?
I, I would love it if my kids wanted to wrestle. I would cry if I ever had to buy them some wrestling shoes. That'd be awesome. you know, but you know, I never forced my kids to play any sports. My son, who's looks just like me and has the same body type, would be perfect for any sport. But I just didn't really force it on them, and they know what I do. But I would never want to be one of those dads that force my kids to play sports, and especially the sports that I love because they're different. And kids are different now. The physicalness of sports. I mean, playing football when I was young is a lot different how they do it now. So it's a little different. The kids are a little different now. I grew up really tough and rough, kind of old school style. Now you can't really kind of raise kids like that. You get in trouble. You got to kind of baby them a little bit more. I think which is good. And my girls, they got me around their little finger. So if they ever ask for anything, I'm down. I can never say no to them. Um, but yeah, I mean, sometimes I wish I would have pushed my son a little bit more to play sports, but I didn't want to be that pushy dad. I wanted them to love the sport because I was never pushed. They just let me play whatever sports I want, and I naturally gravitated towards the football, the wrestling, a competitive sport. So that's where I kind of want to let them choose their own path, and I never want to be that pushy dad.
All right, man. Thank you very much for the time. I know it's fight week, so I won't take up any more of your time. Is there
No,
any
good man. We're chilling. We're good.
is there any sponsors or social media you'd like to plug before we end it?
Yeah. Everybody they can find me on Facebook, Instagram. Um, Brand, you can type in Brandon Cash MMA. Usually a picture of me will come up or something like that. You know, I'm on there, and I'm a pretty chill person. You know, if you guys got a question, you always, just message me, and if I don't get back to you right away, I will. I get back to everybody, as long as it's, like a good question and not, like some crazy weirdo. I get back to everybody. No problem. Um, so yeah, you can find me on there, and I post some funny stuff sometimes. But a lot of family stuff and fight stuff. I kind of do, the personal page and my little fan page too, because I don't want to start one of those fan pages. I kind of keep it all personal. But yeah, then sponsors, starting my gyms that been hooking me up and let me train. Halo Jiu Jitsu out in Fresno, California. Angels are Lopez, our black belt over there, and he's always competing all the time, training too. So when you own your gym's a black belt, is he's out there competing. You know, you got to bring the heat too. This guy's out there doing all kinds of training and fight. So I'm just happy to have a good gym like that. And then my Muay Thai coach, Crew, One Kicks gym. I've heard a lot of stuff about him before I even got with him, and then now he's helped me tremendously. With the Muay Thai and just being a different fighter. And just strategies and training different. And everybody over there that helps me. Jim over at Flex Factory helps me with all my diet, get me all slim. But finally got a routine to where I know how many protein, I know how many carbs you eat each meal and fat. And that's really helped me too. Because before I didn't really know that. I just kind of guessed. And really I didn't know that much about what I was doing. So he's helped me tremendously with my diet, nutrition. And then got a couple of guys. A guy at the gym, Jaime, he owns Poke Bowl Burrito over in Clovis. It's like sushi with a little rice bowl, and that's awesome, man. I eat that all the time after training. My other buddy Jason, he Swazaki sauce. It's a really good teppanyaki sauce. He makes some fit meals, and he has like this new sauce. I mean, it's a dipping sauce, or you can marinate, and it's awesome. And he's a longtime friend. I've known him since, man, fifth, sixth grade. So he always supports me in whatever his endeavor is. The Red Wave Tattoo, hook up all my tattoos, and now they're printing some of my shirts for me. And then I got a new sponsor, gunracks.com, and he's making any kind of gun racks. You can do a closet, a little one, big guns, little guns. And I mean, if you guys are a gun fan, definitely, go check him out. And then, yeah, Halo Jiu Jitsu, gunracks.com. I think that's it. Oh, my CBD guy just got two. Jump to Art CBD. He's a real cool guy, and he does jiu-jitsu too. But he has all local CBD products that really help. Man, I put the stuff in my knees, and man, I had no knee pain for a whole day. And it's just just rubbing that stuff on it. That I mean, it was that simple. It wasn't nothing I had to take, and obviously the tincture stuff is good too. But that rub on, like I was a little hesitant of using that product, but I use it. And that shit really works. It takes away all the pain. And I said it was CBD, so there's no THC in that product. It's just really cool the medicine they're doing now and stuff, especially for the fighters, for my joints and stuff. I'm training hard, so I need products that work good. And man, they've taken care of me. Like I said, I felt blessed this training camp. And Pat, North Star Framing, man, my gloves are torn, messed up, and he got me some new gloves. So, it works out. Like the struggle is always still there no matter what. There's always a struggle, even if you're a $1 million fighter or, you got $200 in your pocket like me. There's still a struggle. There's always a struggle to get to the gym, and then there's the mental struggles too, because everybody's going through their own stuff in their personal life, whatever. And you got to have that good and go to the gym. So there's a lot of struggles that people don't see, and a lot of times the sponsors help take care of that, that struggle, because, our job is really to train. And, if we want to have a mind clear, we kind of got to have a lot of stuff taken care of for us, or, or helped out, um, as far as like keep your mind clear and focus on the fight. So a lot of that stuff helps with the sponsors. And you guys can go on my Instagram and all that, and link up with any of my sponsors, and tell them I sent you in. I'm sure they'll work you the best deal possible, and if not, let me know, and I'll tell them to give you a deal. You let me know, I'll tell them.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for the time, and yeah, best of luck this weekend, and hopefully we can do this again
Yeah, yeah,
after you win this tournament.
yeah, for sure. I'll come back on afterwards. We'll talk some more. Um, yeah, for sure. Maybe
Uh,
I'll bring some of my supplements. Some little products. I'll do a little giveaway. Maybe I'll talk to my CBD guy, and I can have what the first follower, your follower, to hit me up on here. Then I'll send him like a bottle of CBD or something. Do something like that. Nice for the
that's perfect.
yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
All right, man. Well, best of luck, and I can't wait to watch you fight this weekend.
Yeah. Hey, and let me know. Send me a message. Add me on what do you call it, Instagram, whatever, and give me your shirt size, and I'll make sure I'll send you a shirt. So you can wear my shirt next time we have a little interview.
Perfect. I will. I'll send you my shirt size.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
All right,
Appreciate it.
man. All the best. Stay safe, and good luck.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you guys out there.
There we go. Brandon Cash. He's fighting this weekend. Be sure to be sure to check out his old stuff too. He's a devastating finisher. He has wins over guys like Javi Ayala, who obviously competed in Bellator. And if you guys haven't, be sure to where is it here? Just 3, 2, 1. There it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.